Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back in this week in Destiny. And I'm not going to start off with I know that some people are going to be annoyed right off the rip, but I have to give credit where credit's due. Listen, here on the channel, here in the counselor's office, we will give criticism where criticism is met. But when someone does something right, and it's not to fix their own mistakes, but they're actually improving and making a system better, I'm going to give positive, vibes. I'm going to give you an applause. I'm going to say thank you. This week in Destiny, we've got the hugest, in my opinion, one of the hugest quality of life changes that we've ever had in Destiny history. Truly. I mean, that wasn't like fixing things. Obviously, like the double primary fix, that was a problem, right? But I have to say, this quality of life is so significant because it's going to impact new players. It's going to impact returning players. It's going to impact veterans. What the hell am I talking about? Well, you're like, what? Well, today we're talking about the final shape. We're talking about the system that we can expect on launch. As you can see, we have all the little critters. But what really matters, what truly matters, is how power is going to work in the final shape. For years, Destiny has struggled with power and progression. Even all the way back in Destiny 1, if anyone remembers, any veterans out there, Forever 29, is that hitting a bell? That's right, Forever. If you want to know, I don't have it pulled up. Oh, ad blocker. I don't care. Forever 29 Destiny. Let's see. Can I pull some memes? There it is. Forever 29. That's the struggle. Because it sucked. So Destiny has always struggled with progression. And Bungie is changing it. That's right. No longer are you having to suffer. No longer do new players have to sit there and stare at a system that it just isn't fun. Because let's be honest, progression is fun when the gameplay and the loop is fun. But that's not what's been happening, especially in Destiny 2. That's not what happens. You just have to do redundant chores. You're sitting there doing math calculus. I need to do this to min-max this. And it was too much for new players. And even as a veteran, it was annoying. Like, I could go outside and do my chores. I could mow the lawn. I could do my laundry. And a lot of you are like, it's boring. Why are we talking about that? Get to the point. And that's how it felt doing powering up, leveling up, getting gear score, all that jazz. It was annoying. It sucked. Bungie has heard that complaint. And they're removing it. To a certain degree, right? They're moving it to a certain degree. So let's break it down. Fireteam power was announced in the 2003 showcase. What this implies, just to kind of give you a crunch. Essentially, you don't have to be up in light level. Your teammate, whoever it may be, called the power leader. In this example, we have Rook, is level 1950. That one person in your group can power scale everyone else. That's right. So in systems such as raids, if you have a friend that's new, but they're low light level, doesn't matter. You can now take them into the raid because Rook B and G is now carrying the whole team. Literally, you can have one guy carry a whole team on his back now, or gal. And that's awesome because that gives more ways for new players and returning players to really just jump in and play the game. Now, just as an asterisk, that does not mean the loot will scale to that level of the individual leading, who is the power leader. You will only get power gear based on your individual power. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to level up, this could be a great way. Just get some pinnacles through raids that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Also, they mentioned that if you are the power leader, you get a bonus to commemorations, which honestly, no one cares about that system. Like, very few people truly care. It's, in my opinion, it's pointless. I think it needs more love. It's on the right track. It needs more love. What is probably getting the most buzz right now, and it's not really going to impact PvE nearly as much as it's going to impact PvP. Removing power limits from legacy gear. One problem we encountered when designing Fireteam Power was power limits found on older gear items. You might have noticed as you read about Fireteam Power that the adjusted power shared by the power leader would sidestep the cap on the old limited items, making it possible to ignore them. After thoroughly considering the problem space, we came to the decision to remove power limits from all items in the final shape. That means you can go back if you are a veteran, and if there's a weapon that you can pull, such as a sunsetted weapon, not forgotten, and you could pull that out. Now, I don't think not forgotten is going to necessarily matter, but you could pull out old weapons and use them. That means Black Armory, you still have those juice rolls. You can now use them as if they were not sunset. Unfortunately, I deleted all mine, and most of the community delete theirs except for the most treasured items. Now, Bungie does go through and say, we can't rewind the clock. We can't refund these. Our bad. Psych. We sunset them, and then you delete them, and now we're unsetting them all. They did say that they're gonna bring other ways to bring some of these weapons back. So I'm assuming if it was a weapon that was previously in the game, let's give an example, the dawning weapons, that eventually they'll come back. And they even mention how they did it for Onslaught, right? For the brave weapons. I can see, and I even said it in my Onslaught review, and just when I talk about Onslaught, they could continue to add to that playlist, add new weapons, add new maps, and I think that's maybe what Bungie's going to do. So this is a W, absolute W. No longer do you have to worry about the limits of the weapons, because a lot of people are like, well, my weapon is under level, I can't use it, I'm going to do less damage. That's no longer a problem. That means someone who's a new player who may, or let's say a returning player, say you haven't played since Season of the Arrivals, right? And you've got exotics and you are wanting to jump right into the final shape. You want to play the campaign. You want to do the legend campaign with your friends. No worries. You can use whatever gear you still have, even if it's significantly under level, and you're going to be able to jump right in and play the game. It's going to be scaled to whatever power level the leader is. So you can jump in and appreciate the game. And that's fantastic, especially for new players. Listen, not everything benefits me, and I don't have to applaud everything that benefits me. And I like to see the new player experience, the casuals, right? I do care, because at the bottom of the barrel, right? At the end of the day, a community is built on everyone. And casuals, just because someone's casual doesn't mean they don't play every day. Just because they're casual doesn't mean they're not invested in the community. And I know people have this negative connotation about casuals. They see casuals as this little Andy, this little blueberry that doesn't do anything, that is incapable of playing the game. Whereas there's people who probably play better than some veterans do, and they only play for 3-4 hours a day or a couple days. And that's the bottom dollar. So I think making it open for this benefits everyone, by the way, not just casuals. It benefits everyone. Because that means I could go play other video games, right? You could go play other video games, and you can come back and you don't have to worry about power level, because as long as you have one friend that is higher light level, you get the benefit. That's great. Now, power bands. We're improving power bands further, lowering the barrier to entry. In the final shape, the soft cap will require 40 power to reach down from the usual 150. So let's just look at the numbers. This is what matters, is the numbers. The floor is 1,900. Soft cap is 1940. And then the powerful is 1990. What this means for people who are new or watching the video, once you get to this, everything besides pinnacles, you only need pinnacles. You do not want to use any pinnacles to get to these points. Because once you get here, everything is essentially useless. I still hate that there's a pinnacle cap and not just make it all one thing. That's my only gripe, that there's a separation. That means you have certain activities you can only do that will only give you the drop to get to 2,000. That's good. That you need to know that, because some people are going to be doing everything, like including pinnacle activities. Don't do those. Save them until after you hit 1990. You hit 1990, go do your pinnacles. Activity power. Essentially, what this means is there's going to be activities that are going to your power is going to matter, and there's going to be activities where it doesn't matter. That means you need to be leveled up. For example, Vanguard Ops. It shows you difficulty, whether it's power enabled. So the activities that it's enabled is Vanguard, Nightfall, seasonal activities, exotic mission rotators, Trials of Osiris, raids, and dungeons. So if you are playing an activity that isn't among those, like say patrols, there isn't going to be a power enabled, meaning your light level doesn't matter. This is just more condensed. Obviously, this gives us where it matters. Every power enabled activity falls into one of the 5 difficulty tiers or unique modes. So here's the power level and where it matters. So your standard activity like Vanguard, seasonal, exotic missions, raids, and dungeons, just base raids, by the way. 1945. You need to be there to be able to do any of it. Advanced. So we used to be called Hero is 1995. Legend activities now are called Expert is 2005. Master 2010. Grandmaster is level up to 220. And then contest mode is 1965, but there's a caveat because you will be under level, like your level will be soft capped. So it doesn't matter if you get to 2000, it won't matter because anything above this is almost nullified. It doesn't matter. That's the thing about contest mode. You only want to get to the contest mode minimum or maximum, and then you could pretty much do the whole raid. Level doesn't matter. It's been a lot better in the past years when it comes to trying to get to the level. That's why I don't think it's as big of a deal as other people do. That's 3 days to get ready. It's worth calling out that gameplay tuning in our existing high difficult content remains unchanged with these updates, and we're continuing to experiment with new activities that evolve in difficulty throughout the run. So nothing actually is changing on difficulty. Like what it feels like now is what it will feel like in the final shape. That means Grandmasters will feel the same. Now they may change depending on subclasses and tuning, all that stuff, but the base difficulty should not change. Artifact power. Yes. The artifact returns. Yes. Artifact power does matter. It will help you boost up, but they are changing how much experience it will take to do that and the bandwidth, like length of it. You earn power, but is the same. So experience is the same way how you level up, doing activities, bounties. So bounty horde now. Yes. In fact, if you have not seen the link down below, I have it right here. Your cheat sheet for all the bounties that matter. This is what you want to do to get prepped. This is how you get your artifact boosted up as quickly as possible. Check it out. I've already had people download it and make some edits of their own. But overall, it's for you, ladies and gentlemen. Link down below. With additional time offered by each episode, we've increased the number of weeks with seasonal challenges, and they will also receive a buff to their XP rewards. Given this, we needed to make some adjustments to the XP requirement to artifact bonus power levels. Our goals for the rebalance were that actively engaged players could attain similar artifact levels achieved by the end of an episode, and that artifact power remains a rewarding pursuit throughout. What I take from this is that you will not be getting the same amount of power as easily. It will take longer to get levels. That means it's not going to make as big of an impact probably at the beginning of the season, because it will take longer to get to where we're at now, like at leveling up. Account power. This is the biggest change. This right here, in my opinion, is the biggest W ever. Titan, Hunter, Warlock. Most of us play primarily just one. I play all three. But if we didn't have to be so hard to walk in different classes' shoes, they make a joke. We're also lowering the barrier to entry to play multiple classes. What they're essentially doing, you know, how it used to be, or it is currently, is you would have to get on a character at a release. You would have to go in. You would have to farm the character that you didn't want to do the day one raid on. Then you go to the next character, do your pinnacles, you get it up to power. Then you'd swap the gear over to the next character. And then you would go the next week and swap. You would just continue to swap all these items around. And it sucked. It was such a bad way of leveling. No more, ladies and gentlemen. Say goodbye to the most pointless grind of your life. Now, can you still do that? Will you still do that? Yes. You'll still grind on all three characters. However, your power, there's better than loot protection, right? Something I left out is you might have to be like, let's say 1830 is your cap. Let's just say 1830. But you keep getting arms at pinnacle levels and you don't need arms. You need the helmet to get to 1830. So you swap to the next character, get it up, and then you're stuck there because you couldn't get up to 1830 because you're missing one item. Now it doesn't matter, because if I get my character to 1810, my first one, and I swap to my hunter, my hunter will now get things at 1810 level. Automatically. I don't have to transfer anything over. It's account bound. And so then I get up, say I get my hunter to 1820. Okay? I can swap to my warlock or my titan, whichever you want to prefer. And then I will start at base at 1820, and the gear that I get, the level, will be at 1820, meaning you can effectively power scale built into the game. Instead of having to hot swap and min max, the game does it for you. That is so freaking good. The quality of change in that is that you don't have to stress about it. You just play the game. You play, you do all the things. Yes, do you technically do some min-maxing? Yeah, because you have to make sure you're not doing your pinnacles. But as long as you just play the game, you don't have to worry about it. Right? As long as you save pinnacles to the end, you can go to every character and they'll automatically get the best level gear possible. And eventually you will get, hopefully, that 1830 gear helmet or whatever, 1829. Obviously there's going to be some challenges still, but it's removing a lot of it. Now, something I failed to say is that the power level, the cap is lower. So to get the soft cap is much easier and quicker. And if you do the legendary, you'll be rewarded 1960 gear, which is plus 20 into the power band, which means you get a head start. So definitely do legend. It's more rewarding than it's ever been, because you're going to jump right almost in. You'll be 30 away from the cap, and then you'll go right into your pinnacles. Fantastic. Love everything about these changes. Reward power, finally making some improvements to power rewards. For the time now, select activities such as rituals have had a chance to drop powerful rewards with +1 power. They're changing that. They're extending it to multiple activities that will now be more rewarding, which is great. That has been the biggest issue that the community has had with the game, is that I want to play how I want to play, but it feels like it handicaps you, because I have to just do Gambit, Vanguard, Crucible, Vanguard, Gambit, Crucible. Oh, there's Vanguard, Crucible. It was so boring. Now depending on how many activities get these powerful pluses, it's going to be worth your time to just play. And I think for new players, that's a big thing, because I think it's a big turnoff when a new player wants to try different activities, but they're stuck having to do the 3 same activities or 4 or whatever. It's usually not a lot. So I'm glad we're opening it up in general for everyone. Now, we're also talking about Pantheon. There's a creator challenge going on. I personally don't care. Good luck to the teams going there. But Pantheon kicks off next week. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. Welcome to Hardware. This seems very interesting to me. It is essentially the reverse Mayhem. Mayhem was about up abilities and super spam. Hardware is no abilities, no supers. That's right, only your jumps and guns. So this is the hardcore of Destiny, and I'm all for it. Well, it's not the hardcore, but it's like the 50-50. Hardcore is momentum, but you still have abilities and whatnot. I'm excited. I would love to see what Destiny feels like in PvP wise, where it's just guns. If you ever just want to play guns and no ability spam, no shields, no I'm gonna pop a riff, or I'm a hunter who's gonna dodge around a corner and get all my health back, you don't have to worry about that, because now it's straight up guns. This looks like my kind of game mode. Last chance to get your Iron Banner. If you want the Tusk of the Boar, it's actually pretty good. I have a Slideways Deconstruct. It is memey, but on activities like Onslaught, you can pretty accurately get your ammo back with Deconstruct. And I also got the God Roll Chain Reaction, Envious Assassin, or whatever it is, Ambitious Assassin. I don't remember what the roll was, but I got the roll. Let me know down below if you've been having a good time with it. I think it's still memey, but it's a still good grenade launcher. All this extra stuff. I do want to shout out to the art. That looks dope. Okay, that's really cool. I love the artists in Destiny. The artists are so good. So shout out to you. Movie of the week. Hey, it made it. I remember seeing this. This was really freaking funny. I have to show Tony Hawk in Destiny doing the drive-by. It would have been funny if it was the skimmer. If it was the skimmer and it was actually a skateboard. And this is Destiny in a nutshell. Boop, there it is. That's how it feels to play Destiny. When you think you did it, you didn't do it. But overall, that is your week in Destiny. I appreciate you guys. Let me know how you feel. Again, I think this is one of the best quality of lives. I know some people are going to be triggered about being able to use any gun again, especially Sunset, because there's going to be some people that have some good PvP roles. I mean, you could technically use them in Crucible anyways. I don't know if it will matter. It seems like it might not matter in like Trials and Iron Banner if there's a power leader. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. You might be seeing people with Not Forgotten in Trials. If it's Magnificent Howl's good or not, I don't know. But either way, you're going to see some old stuff come back. And let me know whether you're excited to see that or not. I think in PvE that won't be a big difference, because most of the stuff in PvE has been power crept out of existence. Like if you look back at some of the old Pinnacle weapons, it's like, yeah, we already are over that. But you can let me know down below in the comments. I'd be interested to see what you have to say. And as always, again, last call out of the video, get the link, check it off, get what you need. You definitely want to start soon, because these bad boys are going to go away. That's right. You're going to lose the opportunity to farm the Ascendant challenges. So start clicking away each week. Starting this week you have to get on the train if you're wanting to get ready and do bounty preps. Would advise. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, don't forget to game out and be the best version of yourself. Huzzah!